Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube class. Today we are going to cover types of velocity, difference between speed and velocity and accelerations. These are the topic we have to cover in this video. This is the fourth lecture on motion. So I hope you understood the previous videos that we have explained velocity chung chang kan explain kha in thiam ka base ya tuna chun types of velocity kan zerle dona. Let's start. Here we have three types of velocity: uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, and average velocity. Velocity hi chithum kan ya uniform velocity te non-uniform velocity hi variable velocity ti pon kan soi thina average velocity hengo hi a types chunya non uniform velocity kan ti chon nge entaila if the moving object has equal displacement in equal intervals of time, however small the time interval may be, then the object is said to be moving with a uniform velocity. Okay, uniform velocity kan ti chuanin time, given time hun apek chunga a displacement in zat vek soina kha uniform velocity chu kan tia. Example lo pedon taila. For example, here we have before that displacement. Then displacement aron saya displacement chu enge kan en potanga displacement a chuan see we have two cities here, A and B. The actual distance between this city A and B is, let's say, 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers, but the path connecting these two cities, let's say this is the path connecting between these two cities, then this is about 120 kilometers. So in this case you are traveling with a speed of 20 kilometer per hour, 20 kilometer per hour, but the path that you covered is 120 kilometer. Equal to zong is in kong to zong ka 120 kilometers. And what is the actual displacement in this case? The actual displacement to chu straight water measurement la kha ni maya chu zang kan ti kha 50 kilometer hi displacement chunia. Velocity kan ti le chan yang v is equal to displacement by time kan ti ma. But in this case let's say heti zat thui kalnan hianin you spent 2 hours. Let's say you spent 2 hours to cover this 120 kilometer. 2 hours. So in this case your velocity will be what? Displacement is only 50 kilometers. So 50 kilometers divided by 2, that is 25 kilometer per hour. That will be your velocity. But in this case speed is what? Speed to displacement by time kan tia. Ain an lo na kan anang speed ta ve thong chuanin displacement distance by time ma. Actually this distance is how much kilometers? We have 120 kilometer. 120 kilometer divided by 2 is 60 kilometers per hour. Speed to 60 kilometer per hour niya, but your displacement your velocity will be what? 25 kilometer per hour ma. Kha displacement la distance in an lo na niya. Here uniform velocity ni chuanin enge ni thong straight what movement angai ma. In this case, for example, these two cities A and B, you are moving straight what now angili nikaltani ma. The distance between these two cities is 50 kilometers. Then this 50 kilometers is divided into okay, let's say 25 and 25. 25 25. This path is 25 and this path also 25. Initially you traveled with a velocity of 20 kilometer per hour, and then here you change your here also you should not change that velocity. If it is 20 kilometer per hour initially, then the final another halfway also you should travel with 20 kilometer per hour. That would be your velocity, uniform velocity. You should not change the velocity in this case. See, half path 20 kilometer per hour, another half also 20 kilometer per hour, and you use 1 hour for to travel this 20 kilometers. Here also 1 hour. That means your given time is same in this case. Time I consume ka ay ang vevea, and your velocity also remain constant. So this should be uniform velocity. Then what about non-uniform velocity? Tunami ang chia khanin antele taila non-uniform velocity ni chanin. You should cover different you should travel with different velocities. Here another half path you traveled with a velocity of 30 kilometer per hours. 30 kilometer per hour in itlaan tani 1 hour at how khan. So time hi and taila time hi ay ang rang ta, but you traveled first half 20 kilometer per hour, another half 30 kilometer per hour. In this case your velocity are not uniform, so this will be non-uniform velocity. What about average velocity? A definition hi chu ka chiar lo mai nga tien ka soi fiang ain lo che thiam zok nan. Average velocity a chon enge ni ve thung kan enang. Average velocity is the velocity with which the body would cover the same distance along a particular direction in the same time as it actually does by moving with a variable velocity in that time. Average velocity is given by total displacement divided by total time, or initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Okay, that means here example here in this non-uniform velocity, initially you traveled with a velocity of 20 km per hour. Atira khan 20 km per hour in Klana, and another half also you travel with 30 km per hour. My velocity ka 30 km per hour, 20 km per hour. But the total time taken to cover this 50 kilometers is 1 to 2 hours. 2 hours ma. 2 hours, and each one. What would be your average velocity in this case? So you have to add the initial velocity and final velocity, then divided by 2. 20 plus 30 divided by 2 will be your average velocity. Or another method of finding average velocity, total displacement divided by total time. Okay, now in this case the displacement is we say this is 50 kilometer tin kan suya, and the total time taken will be what? Half path ka 1 hour in cover, another half ka another 1 hour more. It means you consume 2 hours to cover 50 kilometers. So your average velocity will be 50 divided by 2. Again here also you will get 25 kilometer per hour ma. Hi displace average velocity kan te choni tani. Then next sakang kalang. Yes, here we have difference between speed and velocity. Speed hi syllabus atang khan omit ania mbs in an run reduce awanga an omit zinga khana telta mase tahen comparison kan nei thawanga speed le velocity kan compare ang. What is speed? Speed to the distance covered by a body in a unit time. Distance ani line, velocity ngen hung. It is the distance covered by a body in a unit time in a particular direction. In a particular direction. Adang lam na chu hiyan direction anay. Velocity chuan direction anaya. Speed ero chuan anay ran lag mo. It means here these two cities, let's say this A and B, to reach this A, if you go straightwards, this will be let's say this straightwards distance is 50 kilometer. Then another way is to reach this city B is like this, and it is about 200 kilometers. Okay, so speed and velocity, what is the difference in this case? So you travel this 200 kilometer and spend 3 hours. Yeah, then in this case what would be your speed? Speed kan jong speed is what? This distance by time. Distance by time hay the speed formula kan ya. Speed is distance by time. Distance divided by time is speed. So 200 divided by 3 will be your speed. That would be how much? 3 6 0 18. Okay, 66.3. Yes, 66.6 will be your speed in this case. Speed ka 66.6 ang value ni tani mo. Hami distance le time. Distance 208 times 3 hours ani chuan mo 66.6 ani la inge velocity ve thung liang. Velocity chu distance covered by a body in a unit time in a particular direction. Particular direction, a direction hit is on yan ani mo ani la hemi hi inge a displacement. Distance covered za chu hemi so ina thau khan displacement mo. Displacement chu inge 50 divided by 3 hours chu in zan yang kha velocity ve tur thung chun tani adang lam na kha share tur this speed ani chuanin distance covered by a body in a unit time, and velocity is the displacement covered by a body in a particular direction. Then speed is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means speed can be measured only by magnitude, and you don't need to mention its direction. So you can ngai lo speed ta chuan mo. But velocity is a vector quantity. In this case we need both magnitude as well as direction to describe velocity. Velocity describe nan apanin kan mamo tinani chu speed is always positive. Speed hi positive ani rang negative ani thelo, but velocity of a body can be both positive as well as negative. Negative po ani thei tinani chu velocity ma. Then speed is given by a speed formula kanaya, and velocity is displacement by time ma. Average speed of a body cannot be zero. Average speed cannot be zero, while average velocity of a moving body can be zero. This is because a reason kan soilo kang example mangin velocity hi engwangin nge zero ani thei ma. Actually the definition of velocity, a definition kan le lokala, the distance covered by a body in a unit time in a particular direction. Direction nei ani awang ta chen zero ni theina chana oma ma. So for example this is a atangin ichuak ta ni ma. A atangin itlan chara again your destination, your ending point is at a bokiran thleng le ta ni. So time chu imhang ve ngi ma se where is your displacement in elo. You are initially at A and then at final also you are at A, so your displacement is 0. In this case your velocity will be 0. Hetiang che hianin I velocity hi 0 ni the, but your speed ka chu 0 ni the lo, because you covered this much distance. It is at kalan hi jang man, let's say 500 kilometers. This is 500 kilometers and your time is 4 hours. Then what is speed? Speed is given by distance by time. The distance is 500 kilometers and time is 4 hours. So 500 divided by 4 will be your speed. But what about velocity? Velocity is displacement by time. Displacement is in this case is 0. So your velocity in this case will be 0. Kaka adang lam na ani mo. Then next we have acceleration. What is acceleration? Acceleration kan soi chuanin bus ate in chuang thin a bus a po tlan chak chang ane tlan mon chang ane ya chon a chang chon a ding thin ani ma kha velocity a in thak reng tin ani chu a motion kha a in thak renga khami kha acceleration kan soi chunia chu the rate of change of velocity of a moving body is called acceleration. Acceleration is given by change in velocity divided by time. Velocity ay thak ka time in time consume kan divide kan acceleration churon chu kan ma. Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time is acceleration. It is denoted by A, small a, capital nilo. Its SI unit is meter per second and it is vector quantity as it has both magnitude and direction. Since velocity mga soifi ani wangin hepo hi vector quantity ani ma, change of velocity danglam in thak danglam char khami soina acceleration chu ni maya chuan velocity mga isoifi I define wangin hi vector quantity ani achan chu magnitude le direction imamo hi acceleration kan soi chunya chuan in homework to ratana chuan heng ho hi a definition ho hi no ta in logic nga. You have to write down all this definition in your notebook and send it to me before 7 p.m. darsari main in ronton nge turani. Heti thleng hi ma acceleration difference between speed and velocity and types of velocity heng ho hi in zia ka nga nota fi fai thadawin min ron thon don ya. Thank you.